Okay, so first off, question 2. So you've got to have your diagram drawn. So you've got a rectangle here, you get that?
Yeah.
And it says, what is the measure to the nearest degree of the angle formed by the short side and a diagonal? So if I put a diagonal in, a diagonal is, a diagonal is across it from one corner to another corner, right? It's from one vertex to another vertex. It doesn't have to be diagonal like that. So we know this is 8, this is 25, and it's about getting the angle in the right place. So it says the angle formed by the short side and the diagonal. So it's here. That's the angle we're looking for. Okay? Or this one over here. Same thing. Alright? So yeah. So if you pick the wrong angle, you get the wrong answer. Does that answer that one? Why you get it wrong? Okay, any others anyone wants to ask for quickly?
I would love to talk about number 8.
Any before question 8? Go through. This one I thought was very good. One of you got caught out by the fact that you have a tower, okay, and there is a support wire, but the support wire is not attached to the top of the tower. So if that's 20 meters and the whole tower is 75 meters, then the height of the triangle is actually only 55 meters. So in the whole, people were pretty good. Like, I think only one person, can't remember who, got caught out by that one.
I had that initially, and then I realized it didn't work, so I changed it.
Yeah.
We didn't ever set this off. Wait, this is 8 that we just set the lighthouse? No, that was.
No, that was 4, 5, 6. Which one? 6. 6. So an observer base of a television tower, which is 150 foot tall, finds the observer is 120 from the base. So if we have 120 foot, find to the nearest degree the angle of elevation of the top of the tower. So that means I'm here, I'm looking at the bottom, I have to look up to the top, so the angle of elevation is how far I need to look up. So that's the angle I'm doing. Okay? Alright, and then we're using
Inverse.
so we've got the tan of theta is 150 over 120. So theta is the inverse tan of that. And what's the answer of those numbers?
51 degrees.
51. Because we just checked the nearest degree, so 51 degrees. That answer your question? Do you know what you did wrong?
Yeah, I just have the angle at the top instead.
Yeah. Yeah, a few of you did get the angle of depression and elevation bit confused. So question 8 was it?
Yes.
So again, from the top of a lighthouse, so I'm just going to draw my basic lighthouse. The angle of depression of a boat, yeah, this was a difficult one, wasn't it? So if you look out from the top of the lighthouse, okay, and it says assume that the base of the lighthouse is at sea level. It says the angle of depression of a boat out at sea. So we start looking out, and then we look down, and we look down the 24 degrees. So the actual angle is that one at 24 degrees. Okay. It says the lighthouse is 160 foot. That angle is 24. Finds the nearest foot, the distance. So we're looking at that distance So we've got to find one of the angles in the triangle. So we could actually make the triangle up here, but it makes more sense to say, well, that one is also 24 degrees. So the angle of depression is the same as the angle of elevation from the other end. Right. So then we would do tan of 24 equals, okay, and then we get x equals 160 divided by tan of 24. And we get the answer 359, again to the nearest foot. Okay. Answer the question?
Yes.
Yeah? 9 was alright, was it? Or was everyone alright? I don't think everyone was alright with it, but
Yeah. Well, just made a silly mistake.
okay. Question 10 then. The biggest error for question 10 was not interpreting the information and the diagram given correctly. So basically, at first sight, the balloon is that height there. Okay? So we know it's 300 and the angle is 25. The second time it is spotted, it is now higher. Okay, so the angle at the same 300 feet or whatever it is, meters, but this time the angle is 60. Not what some people did, they put 85 because they thought that it said 60 and 25. But it does say the angle of elevation is now 60. So the angle of elevation is from flat looking up. So the information is there. So that was the issue. So you work out this one, you work out this one and do a subtraction, and that's how you find the answer. Okay. That makes sense to anyone that wants to know that one? Okay. So, generally okay. I thought the processes, the maths, getting the ratios and things correct and the sides of the triangle were all very good. Just a little bit of work on angles of elevation, angles of depression, that kind of thing, making sure you get them right. Okay. And it's very easy, by the way, because I was marking, and I will have to say you might see some scrubbing out, because for this question, I wasn't paying attention, and when I started marking, I got the angle of depression in the wrong place. I just kind of forgot about it being angle of depression, so I had to go back through and remark it. So it's very, very easy to get those things wrong. All right?
Yeah, I didn't mind the one.
I flipped it the other way. I said I had 10, 24 equals x over 160.
Yeah. See, there is another option. It doesn't change anything about the calculation, but you can, if you use this, get your angle of depression right, the triangle could actually be on top, like that. Alright, so you can use whichever triangle. So that height is the 160, you're trying to find this distance. You do it whatever way round you like. But of course, as you're just saying, if I incorrectly make that 24 degrees, which is the normal thing to do, you'll get that is now, rather than the opposite, this is the adjacent, and you get your tan the wrong way around. Okay, so that's the warning. If you kind of put it in the wrong place, you can still do lots of other things correctly. But I would say in a situation like that, I wouldn't go past, if you got your angle of depression wrong, I wouldn't carry on marking the rest of it. Yeah? Does that makes sense? Right. Next thing then.